I know. Questioning if Samantha Jones was actually iconic and powerful. How dare I? Well, I guess I like to live on the dangerous side of life. That sounded so cool in my mind. Yes, Samantha Jones was the woman who shook many of us to the core. I mean, what was once hush-hush when it comes to women, but somehow accepted when it comes to men.
We did it with him on top, me on top, on his back, on his side, on his face.
Finally took center stage for all. And we got the unapologetically keksual woman of business who does it like a man.
This is the first time in the history of Manhattan that women have had as much money and power as men, plus the equal luxury of treating men like sex objects.
But Mary, when you dig deeper, when you go and analyze every episode since season 1, trying to understand Samantha better, there are some cracks that you just cannot ignore. Yeah.
I miss you.
What do you mean?
Ank and I are giving it another shot.
You can't do this to me.
I know, I'm sorry.
No. I'm supposed to do this to you.
And it makes you wonder, was Samantha ever really powerful? I mean, when a woman who spent a decade of her life trying to convince others and herself that she is unbreakable gets literally broken by a man, you're like, guess what? But you know how we do it here. We narrate, we analyze, we often judge. And we like to pretend that, we know better and would do better. Hopefully. Samantha is meeting one of her clients. It's a mega client. It's a hotel chain owner, mogul, I don't know what, Richard. And he ain't happy.
Christ, you're 7 minutes late. Where's my London hotel?
I actually tried to understand why isn't he happy, but I didn't get it. It was something about De Niro and a hotel in London, ending in 2 ads in newspaper and a property in Barcelona. There. What's relevant though is that Samantha does her job well. She was already on it. And well, that makes Richard impressed. She's a good one.
I talked to the travel editor. I pulled 2 of our ads. It won't happen again.
Not bad.
Now, Richard is, a guy approaching 50s, let's say. Honestly, I am so bad at evaluating age based on how people look, especially in this day and age. Some of them 13 years old, I'm like, excuse me? But he has this whole George Clooney vibe, The charm, the looks, the attitude, the confidence, and judging. But he's also a little bit of an ass, okay? Excuse my directness. He is what we would say today an abusive boss, okay? Someone you should stay away from. Back in the day, I guess that was just men.
Now, did you ask somebody what happened? Or did you spend the morning accessorizing?
Now, there's another thing that he likes about Samantha apart from her work. And it's not even the nice tight red dress she's wearing. It's actually Samantha's attitude.
I love that you're not scared of me.
How she just takes that martini that was meant for him and sips it because she is in a little bit of a mood. Now, Richard is also attentive. I mean, he notices that Samantha is, not really feeling it. He has an eye for it. So he asks her,
What's with you, female trouble?
Don't you just love when men are aware? No, Richard, it's not a female problem. Samantha is upset because, or a little bit down, because one of her friends seems to be getting engaged.
And she didn't ask you to be a bridesmaid?
Oh my God, he is so aware of the challenges that women face when it comes to one of their biggest dreams, getting married. Clearly, Richie Rich does not understand Samantha. He doesn't get her. It's not about, oh my God, I want to be a bridesmaid. It's about the fact that everyone and their freaking grandma wants to get married. They're all about weddings and families and yada da da da. I mean, where did the cool people go?
Why does everybody have to get married and have kids? It's so cliche.
Now, you might think that this is just something that Samantha doesn't like. The whole marriage and wedding and fairy tale, like she is just so above it all. But you'd be wrong because there is a reason why Miss Samantha does not like the whole idea of wedding and marriages, okay? And it has to do with the fact that she experienced hand how it is when people are married. Usually, the guy hops out of a marriage, gets a little sweaty inside the bed, behind the sheets with another woman. And yeah, sure, marriage is beautiful. And if you're asking how does she know that, Samantha herself slept with many of those men.
You see that buddy over there? I fucked him. See that buddy over there?
I fucked him too. I never thought I'd see them again.
Who's to say that Samantha is not looking at the situation and thinking, oh my God, commitment is such a lie. Like it's just bullshit. Everyone pretends that this is it, that we are true to one another and connecting in an authentic way. And look, she accepts this reality. Samantha is not someone who is going to be like, oh my God, why is it like that? No, she looks at situation, she takes the lemons and she makes a lemonade, okay?
He's never gonna leave his wife for you, you know, they never do.
Thank God. Who needs the trouble? This is ideal. No muss, no fuss.
Hooking up with married men? Perfect solution, because she doesn't have to get involved in anything, but she can still experience the fun. I mean, sometimes it goes a little bit different.
It's over. I told my wife.
No.
I am prepared to join you with him in bed.
Oh, no. No.
But, you know, in majority of cases, it's good. Then there was also this other time when she was kind of excluded from social circles because she slept with so many husbands.
Your card and you are not accepted here.
Okay, I'm a big whore. Now, will you help me? I don't think so.
So when she sees that one of her girlfriends, the one who was supposed to be cool and not a cliche, you know, being out of the box is actually getting engaged, aka it's Carrie, she's not handling it well. What about if it's just the fact that she is kind of afraid that her friends are also gonna get hurt? Because according to her, marriage doesn't bring anything good. The thing is that Samantha is preaching to the wrong crowd right now because Richard himself, he's all about effing around.
I like to sleep around. Whisk somebody off to Rio if the mood strikes me. It's the perfect 9-hour flight. Dinner on a jet. Wake up in Brazil. Spend the weekend in my little 5-star hotel.
And Samantha is intrigued. He says the 9 words Samantha wants to hear.
Who needs a wife when you have a life?
That's all I'm saying.
And off they go. Well, kinda. They're in the jet and they're all over each other. Or let's say Richard is on top of Samantha. And there is this moment where Samantha kind of asks us if it's smart to mix business and pleasure, you know? I mean, she is working for him. But Richard sees this as work. I mean, they are flying to Brazil. He needs to have that tax write-off.
Oh, well, this is on the clock then?
No,
But no, Samantha, let's not go that fast. Okay, that far. Let's calm down now. Okay, one thing is the tax write-off. Another thing is, you know, paying you also. Like, let's calm down. But he does wonder, how much would she charge for a thing like this? Samantha chuckles because Richard is a dum-dum. He would not be able to afford her because despite him being a rich man, well,
I'm a very talented woman.
and off to the heights they go. Look, we've seen Samantha hook up left and right and having no strings attached, okay? But there is something about Richard that makes this a little bit more dangerous, okay? Richard is the perfect example of a man that Samantha would go after. He is wealthy.
I wonder if...
He is powerful. He is cocky. He is confident. He doesn't give a shit of how he treats other people. And somehow that's attractive. Okay. People. Samantha would stick with a guy just because he is a little bit rude. Okay. She likes that.
I can't do this. You shop at the boys' department.
Where do you shop? The big and tall horse store?
You're nothing but a big dick with a little man attached.
And you're nothing but a big pair of tits with too much extra legroom.
But maybe what is the most dangerous part of it all is the match in the power drive these two have. You see, Samantha is someone who is quite driven, quite ambitious, and she succeeded in her life. She has her own business. And not only does she have power from the money side, she also had the power in the other most important thing when it comes to men or life.
Money is power. Sex is power. Women have the right to use every means at their disposal to achieve power. Men and women are equal opportunity exploiters.
She loves it and she's gonna enjoy every part of it. She sources a lot of self-worth from that. Not getting a table at a restaurant, who the F do people think they are? Huh?
Look, I'm not sure you understand, but I'm kind of somebody. Do you realize? If she were a man, not only would we be eating right now, but they'd be sending over free drinks.
That's the thing, people. For Samantha is not, I want to be like a man, right? Because that's how I'm going to move in business and society. Let's say if we compare it to Miranda, who is in an environment like lawyer, where she's surrounded with all the men and she almost needs to or she developed this fight personality or almost... behaving like a man type personality, people would say, right, on the outside. In contrast to Samantha, who does not want to be like a man. She just wants to do things like a man, but from a woman's perspective, right? Or as a woman. She is very feminine. She loves her feminine side, her sensuality, her womanhood. I hope that's the right word. And according to her, the same way men can use money and sex as power, so can she. So can many women. And when it comes to specifically to keks, she loves the whole thrill around it. She loves the, just getting a little bit crazy, a little out there. And when she matches with Richard on that private jet, it is perfection. It's a private jet. Clearly, he is wealthy and she has access to this status, but also she has a sense of control around it. Her sensual control. It could even play into her image of being unstoppable and special, and she deserves this. This is how Samantha is looking at things. She deserves it as much as any other person. If you remember episode 1 from season 1, which if you do, you're a little bit of a SATC freak, okay? But it's all good, okay? I had to rewatch it. And there was an interesting point. Samantha was not like this since forever, right? No. There was just a particular night, a particular day when she decided to try it.
If you're a successful single woman in this city, you have two choices. You can bang your head against the wall and try and find a relationship, or you can say screw it and just go out and have sex like a man. Remember that guy that I was going out with? Oh God, what was his name? Drew, the sex guy. Right. Well, afterwards, I didn't feel a thing. It was like, hey babe, gotta go. Catch you later. And I completely forgot about him after that.
And she felt amazing. And since that time, she went in. And voila, another crazy adventure for Miss Samantha Jones. It's just that this time is a little bit different. It hits a little bit different. You see, when she is at lunch with her friends and when they ask her about this, mystery man who apparently they should know about, but Carrie slipped, Samantha doesn't really want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Samantha likes a guy.
And this is not the usual Sammy, because the usual Sammy would be explaining in details how it went down, what happened, and all the things that specifically Charlotte doesn't want to hear. So the fact that she's a little hush-hush this time, that she's also a little bit dismissive, the girls are like, buzz. What's going on? Okay, she'll tell them.
You want details? Okay. He's got the most perfect dick I've ever seen. Long, pink, amazing. It's dickalicious.
All right, so what should I do about Aiden's stuff?
And they're over it. So clearly there is some kind of resistance when it comes to Samantha actually acknowledge that she might be catching feelings for someone, or that there is something different with the particular guy. But if you think that this is the first time Samantha is catching feelings, if you think this is the first time Samantha gave love a chance, well, this, you'd be wrong.
I'm in love.
What?
There was James. According to Samantha, the first guy she actually had something to talk about apart from, keks. And she enjoyed it. She met him at a jazz restaurant. She was there just to treat herself, to enjoy the music. So when James approached her and also liked the jazz and they exchanged and talked the whole way getting to her home, she felt good. She felt so good that they started dating. Everything was perfect. He treated her very well, except for that little detail.
Hey, what's going on? Why are you crying?
James has a small dick.
But she did try it, right? She is someone who is open to relationships. There was the whole lesbian relationship, okay? Let's not forget about that one. But there was a relationship before it all. A relationship that you might have missed. The relationship that actually broke Samantha many years before this new Samantha emerged. His name was Dominic.
Oh my God, it's Dominic.
He wined and dined her and the sex was amazing. But then he replaced her for a supermodel. And it broke Samantha's heart. She needed a year to get over him.
I'm just gonna say hello.
After what he did to you?
Talking about experiences and how experience shape your future, Do not tell me that this was not a reason why Samantha went on this I don't need a man type thing, or I can use men the same way men use women. Iconic much, or just needing therapy? I'm collecting votes in the comments below. Now, the difference when it comes to Richard seems to be that before, she never had a problem of expressing that she actually likes a guy or that she's invested in him. But when it comes to Richard, she doesn't even want to mention. And maybe the reason is because her past experience made her even more guarded about the whole situation. She doesn't even want to go that path anymore. Or maybe Richard himself is a little bit different. You see, Richard is not just someone who values Samantha because of her confidence and her sensual power and her being, just a badass. He also appreciates her work, her profession. And maybe it's the first time, or maybe in a long time, that she actually experienced someone appreciating her profession as well as her body. Or maybe it's that cha-ching. There's always, which one is it? Samantha actually received a call from Richard that she needs to meet him at the office for work. And, as requested, she goes. And sure, maybe it's a Sunday, but people, it's her mega client and she owns her own business. And you know what they say? No private life. And yes, we all secretly hope they're lying. They're coming up with these things so you don't pursue business. Okay, that's the thing. There's no work on Sundays when you have your own business. Side note, my business is not succeeding yet. Just, so this was no advice, no real advice.
So where's the layout for the LA Magazine spread?
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Richard is so pleased, in fact, that he has a little gift for Miss Samantha. It's long pink rose. It's perfect.
I thought about you all weekend.
Samantha picks up the rose and she puts it on a table. She walks towards Richard and she has a proposition.
Bring out that gorgeous dick.
That's how you do. You get a rose and you tell to a man to drop his pants off so you can suck his thing. Oh my God, Samantha is so cool. She just owns a man like no one. She does whatever she wants to do. And I'm looking at the whole situation and I'm like, pathetic. Bis, let's put things in perspective. She's been called on a Sunday to do extra work, okay? From my understanding, that's a labor-free day for everyone. It's a rest day. I might not be religious, but I pick and choose what works. And just because a guy gives her a rose, she drops on knees and, takes him to another height. Excuse me, what? Make it make sense. If that's what you were thinking, I will make sense. You see, there's a little detail. about Samantha that you might not know unless you are a freak and obsessed with, who Samantha is and you know everything. So in that case, okay, you better than me. Samantha has a very clear view of BJs. She loves them. But not just because she loves them. There is also a teeny tiny reason attached to it.
The sense of power is such a turn on. Maybe you're on your knees, but you got him by the balls.
Yes, it's all about power, okay? It's all about owning the man. So when it comes to Richard, this shift and her dropping to knees is literally because she genuinely believes that this is what gives her power. This was a moment where there was a little bit emotional zones creating, or like there was a territory where she didn't feel comfortable. So she flipped it and made it a situation where she felt in control. Now, again, is the reality that this is pathetic and it's almost like she's been played to think that that's a power move? According to me, yes, it is. It's kind of like that silly thing of how somehow we were convinced that expressing our sensuality in a little bit inappropriate ways, taking pictures of asses in tongs is sexual empowerment. Yeah, sometimes we are played to do things under the disguise of empowerment where objectively the outcome has nothing to do with empowerment. But I digress. And it's my humble opinion. If I would want to see a badass Samantha character, someone who really owns her shit, I would expect her to come there, get the rose, and then she would be like, Richard, I like to sleep around. I like to be flown out on a private jet to Brazil. But I also like to have my options open. Something like that. I don't know. That would be powerful. Dropping on your knees and going to that popsicle town? It ain't it. Not in my book, okay? And maybe my book is very limited. Who knows what life will teach me? So Samantha manages to seize back control and power into her own mouth. Hands. And she wants to... Wait, am I being rude now? You see, when she is back at home and when she sees that rose, she picks it up and she takes a sniff. And honestly, every time I see someone do that, I'm thinking, what about if there's a bug in that rose? And it goes up your... Is that just my irrational fear? Now, there is this softness that we see around Samantha, almost like indulging in this moment, in this feeling. But then her face is scrunches and she's like, the F, and she throws the rose in the trash. You see, as many things, Samantha also learned where does vulnerability get her. And so far, it wasn't anywhere nice. She went out with the guy, and when she thought that, oh my God, this is so nice, and maybe something special will come out of it.
William's renting a house, and he asked me to spend the summer with him.
He stood her up at her favorite romantic restaurant.
Oh my God. People are looking. I'm so bad.
And if I mention the relationship that broke her down, well, you know that the man came back around again. Yes, Dominic reappeared in her life. And when she thought that this time the tables are turned and she's going to be the one who is going to pull revenge on him, the second she became vulnerable and the second she felt that maybe this is a restart for them, he replaced her with the model again.
Ank and I are giving it another shot.
You can't do this to me.
Get out!
I said I was going.
Samantha and vulnerability do not go together. Again, let's remember the lesbian couple. It was pushed so much on her that she almost got rash from it. I have no idea if she ever got a rash, but, it was not pleasant. So we could say that Samantha just learned how to be protective of that part of her. And not only protective, but even replacing it with the feeling of power. Like men. But if she thinks she's gonna escape Richard and hold strings in her hands, she's in for a treat. Charlotte is organizing a dinner and the girls are all hanging out there and they are just talking about things, what's for dinner and so on. And at one point, Samantha takes the opportunity of someone saying something to mention Richard. Oh, don't we know that? When you're into someone, when they are occupying your mind, every little thing reminds you of them. It's like maybe it reminds you, or maybe you're just fishing for the opportunity to talk about them. Whatever it is clear that Samantha is in her feels and the girls are supportive.
It's perfectly okay to like a guy.
For the last time, the only thing I like about Richard is his big, throbbing, rock-hard, perfect...
But here we go again. Richard is calling and she needs to meet him. It is very important and it cannot wait until a more appropriate hour, okay? And as his PR and lover, I guess, she needs to respond. Samantha arrives at the agreed destination and she is in for a surprise. You see, Richard set a perfect romantic dinner for two by the pool because he is rich. Now, this pushes Samantha a little bit to her senses, okay? And this time she's acting a little bit like a boss, okay? This is what we want to see from Samantha.
Let's get something straight. I want no part of that. That turns everything into a big screaming mess. We are work and sex, nothing more.
She does not want any part of the lovebird stingy he's trying to set up. What they do is work and keks. So she tells him to drop his pants off. Now, Richard is not gonna give in just like that. He tells her to drop hers off also. And with one swipe, Samantha is standing in her gorgeous self in front of him. And so does Richard. Side note, I was actually pleasantly surprised that they showed a man naked, okay? Because the amount of women that need to be naked in movies while men get away with literally nothing, not even a butt cheek, is unacceptable. She jumps into the pool and Richard follows. And both of them, the way they jump in, you know they're rich, okay? People who are poor do not dive like that. We scrunch down, and we try to. Every time I try it, I just land flat on my face. So again, Samantha is making sure that she is the one who has the situation in control. And when the situation gets a little bit vulnerable, she goes to the thing that knows gives her power. And again, I said it earlier, Samantha is not the type who uses keks to make the man like her, or, she would do it because, oh my God, that's how he's gonna pick me and be with me if I just give it or not give it. It has nothing to do with that. It's more that she feels in power if she is in control in a sensual way. I mean, later on we're gonna see, but it's almost like her high, her escape. Not to get the man, but to focus on her own pleasure. But I get to that. I just want to again make sure that we understand that this is not her way of trying to get men. This is her way of making herself feel better and feel powerful. Okay, Mary? Are we clear? Did you write that down? Of course not, because you already know. Way to go, girl. But this, what Samantha does not know is that Richard holds the cards here, okay? Also because he is her boss. They get out of the pool and he puts a romantic song by your side. The man is creating the vibes.
Dance with me.
Now, Samantha gets a little bit hesitant again, and she's kind of like, she doesn't really like this, but also it is rude to say no to your boss when they ask you for a dance. Now, as soon as she's close to him and right before they could fall into this magical moment, just being in each other's embrace, Samantha's hand slips down and she's ready to get that sack. But Richard stops her. This time, it's a no. This time, they will enjoy just the music and romance. And Samantha finally gives in. And she lays her head on Richard's shoulder while they're swaying and swinging together in the music by the pool as the rich people do. Now, when it comes to her, again going into the keksual way, it's nothing different. She is just trying to escape this vulnerability. But what's interesting is that there is a sense of curiosity because Samantha doesn't just shut it down and walk away. She doesn't do that. I mean, she actually does want to see what if. There seems to be a part of her who does want to lean in. And Richard kind of gives her that space. Now, the question is, what the F are Richard's intentions, okay? Where is he driving this? I mean, there are always multiple possibilities. Okay, the first possibility is, what if he is really interested in Samantha? He likes her in so many aspects, and he just genuinely wants to explore a little bit more closeness. Maybe he recognized that Samantha does tend to avoid vulnerability or closeness, so he's almost kind of guiding her into it, almost showing that it is okay. And we could even say that this push and pull between the two of them is a play between the vulnerability and power. You know, this dynamic, which one will win? But then Mary, we get into the waters that are a little bit more tricky. I mean, what about if Richard doesn't have like the purest intentions or motivations, or not even purest? This is just his shtick. I mean, he did say from the get-go that he likes sleeping around and he likes to whisk his ladies and make it an experience. So who says that this is not just one of those things? Maybe comparing to Samantha, who is like, let's just get it down, let's get to the business, and there is no need for anything else than just dropping our pants off. Richard is someone who likes to go into, you know, whining and dining, and maybe even experiencing a lady, you know, being with him, or he seducing her in some way. And this whole romantic thing and dance and so on does not mean that he's actually invested in this or that he wants with Samantha something more, but it's just his way of playing around or sleeping around. And that could be confusing unless you try to understand what is happening. I mean, if you think about it, he's doing all these gestures, but he never really states that he genuinely wants her or just wants her. Or he never says, look, Samantha, I know we started this saying that we just want to sleep around, but in reality, like, I'm actually feeling something deeper. So whatever it is, there is no clarity when it comes to Samantha and how she allows that his actions almost drive how she is coming in this situation or this agreement. Because what we see is literally that Samantha also has her boundaries. She has a certain way of how she wants to mess around, but Richard is almost like, you know, crossing those boundaries or leading her to cross those boundaries. But we never really understand if Richard is crossing any boundaries, or if this is just how he does things. Now, because Samantha herself maybe doesn't even doesn't want to accept that that could be a thing, she doesn't really ask him. This would be an amazing opportunity for her to actually say, what are we doing here? What is this? Like, is this just, you know, a romantic dinner or something? Or are you trying to tell me something more? Because from my side, this is not the no attachment, no muss, no fuss situation. Clearly, they are experiencing this differently. So what would help Samantha in this moment to avoid the potential of Richard not really having, you know, genuine intentions or good intentions, or he is still in the I just mess around, is simply ask, is simply clarify. But clearly, she does not want to do this. And she does not want to do it because her reluctance towards emotional closeness and vulnerability is driven by the fear of getting hurt. So she does not want to get romantically involved with him or actually, you know, go beyond just messing around or allow herself to develop feelings because she associates that with hurt, with every experience that we talked about before, right? But if Samantha would, acknowledge or realize that no, she actually does want that, she just didn't have good experiences, and acknowledge the fact that Richard is kind of pulling her in that direction, then her power move would actually be to show up for herself, to stand up for herself, acknowledge her feelings, and not have any fear in expressing it, not needing to hide behind, I don't care, I don't feel anything. Like she'd just be like, boy, let's sit down and let's talk about this, because this is not what I am willing to do. If I take the example of her previous experience or how she acted when Dominic, the guy that she needed a year to get over him, reappeared in her life, she approached the situation as, oh, biz, now I'm gonna show him.
Why would you want to go out with him again?
Because he treated me like shit. I'm gonna make him want me. Then right before we do it, I'm gonna drop him like he dropped me.
Which then turned into a disaster because the second she let go her guard, he actually left her again for the same person he left her the first time. But if she would approach it with understanding, you know what, there's a lot of emotions around this guy and he hurt me a lot and I do not want to even dive into it because it's too much, she wouldn't get herself in that situation. But somehow Samantha is very driven by fear of getting hurt and replacing that with power that even turns into, I want to have revenge, that fails because it's based in nothing, in fear of getting hurt. So also here with Richard. If she would be comfortable with her emotions and how she's feeling about the situation and Richard, she would be so much quicker to get to have clarity about where her and Richard are and what is he doing. Is this just his way of messing around, or is he trying to show her something more? Does he want to have something more with her? Yes, I've put on my robe because it got a little chilly and I just want to be cozy like this, okay? So Samantha and Richard seem to be making steps, making moves. They are kind of hooking up, but also maybe getting invested a little bit more. Or at least Samantha is, because there are problems on the horizon, okay?
Well, it's about fucking time. Get over here and do me.
Is that your standard greeting now?
Oh, sorry. I thought it was Richard. That asshole said he'd call me back in 5 minutes. That was 4 hours ago. I've been waiting by the phone.
Sure, Sammy. It's all just casual, huh? You're just doing it like a man. A wink, wink. Why did I shut down both of my eyes? We're used to the Samantha that does not have time to wait around on a man. And yet, here she is ticking together with the clock. And no, I don't know what that means. Can you imagine? Can you imagine sitting by the phone for 4 hours, waiting on a call from a guy that said that he's supposed to call you, in 5 minutes, and not actually texting him, hey, what's up? Like, hello? But that's the thing. When our Samantha wants to do it like the men do, not show that she is invested, not admit that she is, or admit to Richard that she's waiting on his call. She is not gonna get fooled in showing that she actually wants him. And that's why she's gonna wait for 4 hours in silence. This is what I'm talking about. This whole do it like a man, meaning I have no feelings and not attachment, is not the power she thinks it is. It is pathetic. It is bullshit. A powerful woman in tune with who she is and how she wants to be treated would be like, hello? What the F is happening? Huh? Right? And sure, this is a TV show, right? I mean, they need to create some kind of tension and also show us how Samantha is being pulled into this situation. But also, are you going to tell me that you do not know an adult woman who still thinks that being cool is the badass move when it comes to dealing with men? Exactly. Okay? And just for those women, no. The power comes in you acknowledging yourself and standing up for yourself. That's where the power comes from. The power does not come from how people perceive you. But luckily, Carrie was actually calling Samantha for a reason. She wants to go clubbing, and it came at a perfect time because Samantha needs to take her mind away from Richard and get intoxicated with some different types of pleasure. This time, dancing and drugs. Yep. Samantha goes for the X. Now, fast forward, we see Samantha at Richard's place and they are having the most amazing keks she has ever had. It is so freaking amazing that it makes Samantha utter the words she never thought she will say.
You're amazing. I love you, Richard. I'm in love with you.
And then in the morning, she has to deal with the morality hangover. What the F did she just do?
It was the ex talking.
The problem is that, what about if she is in love, okay?
So do you love him?
Oh, who the hell knows?
She's not really sure about the situation, but what she is sure about is that this was not okay. And she just wishes that Richard will pretend like nothing ever happened. That's what gentlemen do, right? And maybe she wishes that that's what would happen, is the fact that Richard, when she said that, he just kind of rolled over and fell asleep. I don't think I need to make it more obvious, but Samantha is into Richard, because if she wasn't, she would not, first of all, even remember that she said it, because it was all in the ecstasy of the pleasure that she always so much enjoys. Or second of all, she would not care. She would be like, whatever, I know what I'm there for and I don't care about what he thinks. So clearly, she cares. The next day, they are back to business. Samantha is at Richard's place and Richard is again complaining about his business.
I am not doing any more charity crap if we can't get publicity.
Don't you just love an honest man? And as much as this is business talk, Samantha is feeling uncomfortable. And she's kind of done keeping it in. So she asks Richard if they're gonna talk about it. Richard is a little bit confused. Like, talk about what? Well, Rich, about what she said the other night.
Samantha, you were high on X. Believe me, I've been there.
Oh, good.
That's supposed to be a relief, right? Wrong. I mean, it's a mix. On one hand, yes, that's great that he doesn't assign it more than I guess it was. But on the other hand, Samantha almost feels like her I love you doesn't matter. The fact that she expressed herself like that does not matter. Somehow she wishes that he would actually care about what she said. But I guess when Richard said he's just all about having fun and no attachment, it's what he meant, okay? Maybe he himself is a little bit avoidant when it comes to love, but, maybe he just doesn't care. Samantha gets up and she's ready to leave, but Richard pulls her in and gives her a passionate kiss. Now, this is where Samantha almost wants to tell him that what she said the other night was not just drugs talking, but she replaces it with,
Fuck you at my place around 8 o'clock?
Sounds good.
Look, if we're being honest, it's a little bit of a pickle situation for Samantha right now because she has two options and both of them are kind of lose-lose. Okay, if she tells him that she actually meant it, she risks vulnerability. She risks getting rejected, which is not something she is prepared for. On the other hand, when she is kind of, pretending that, I didn't mean anything, she's shutting herself down. And she is going into a bad situation even more. When she is the one who is developing feelings while he is exactly how he said he's gonna be from the get-go. Just messing around. Now, we see Richard and Samantha having breakfast. It seems that it's his place. It's very luxe. It's like this big dining table. Both are sitting on each side, almost mirroring each other with all the confidence and power while reading a newspaper, because that's what smart people do. Okay. You scrolling your phone. Oh my God. You don't even know how to live. Honestly, I try to stay away from my phone lately. Samantha, though, catches how Richard is looking at her.
Can I help you?
You're gorgeous.
Tell me something I don't know.
He stands up, he goes to her and kisses her on the cheek, and then he takes a shower while Samantha is catching up on the latest gossip. The problem is, the freaking gossip is her new man, canoodling with another woman. Samantha is PISSED? The F? What is this? How can the news just lie like that? She calls her contact at the newspaper and she tells him that he needs to. I don't know where am I going with this. Now, the reporter is a little bit shooked, a little bit surprised because he thought that Samantha is going to be thrilled. Like, Richard is finally in the newspaper. But Samantha does not care about that because when you're spreading lies, that's not going to work, okay? He is not hanging with Bebe London, and she knows that for a fact.
I happen to know he's canoodling with one woman, and it's not BB London.
Okay.
Side note, we can both agree that this is not the best work as a PR, right? Right? Samantha is in another waters when it comes to Richard. She goes to Richard, she opens the shower, and she's like, oh, can you believe what these reporters just put in the newspaper?
He's an idiot. Just giving you a heads up.
Oh, hey, all press is good press, right?
Richard, though, is not mad. I mean, all press is good press, right? And he did hang out with Bebe London.
So you were canoodling with Baby London?
Is that a problem?
No.
Samantha gets caught off guard. I mean, of course it's not a problem, but, you know, if she's supposed to do a good work as his PR, she needs to know these things, right? She can't be blindsided like that. But Richard doesn't want her to think about work right now, okay? Let's just enjoy. He pulls her under the shower. And though Samantha is a little bit, pissed, but she doesn't really know how to react, the second he goes down, she forgets about everything. Is that sweet, sweet high. Now, Mary. Can we say at this moment that the romantic gestures Richard showed was all just the way he does things, was all just a part of his own way of having fun with women? Yes, I think it's safe to say that, because if it was anything else, then first of all, he would acknowledge that Samantha is a little bit too upset about the situation, right? And if he really liked Samantha more than just hooking up with her, maybe he himself would take this opportunity to kind of understand where are they. But clearly, he does not care, okay? He's hanging out with whoever he wants, and that's what they actually decided on from the get-go. Now, there is also a part where you say maybe he used the romance to get Samantha in. But, it's kind of yes and no, because he didn't have to do that. But maybe that's how he always needs to do it. So he just did the same with Samantha, not knowing that she will actually get caught in the way she did. I don't know. There's always this part, is this intentional, or is he just is this intentional, aka manipulative and playing her, or is he just like that, right? He's carefree and he was open from the get-go. But Samantha is the one who never really questions it when she herself starts to catch feelings. Her stepping in the shower and then just, leaning into it, it's almost like a missed opportunity for clarify what they have. She could easily just say, okay, so does this mean that we have an open relationship or something? Now, when it comes to the high that she is experiencing, I mean, have you noticed? Have you noticed that Samantha always kind of uses keks to feel powerful, but almost like a high, an escape? The pleasure is overriding all of her worries. Honestly, going through all of the episodes and analyzing all the parts, there is a sense of Samantha using keks as an escape, almost as an addiction, to escape her worries and escape her emotions. And she's doing it right now. And in the past, she would do it when she gets hurt by one man, jumps with the other, right? In this case, she's faced with a vulnerable moment or with a semi-rejection, kind of, right? And instead of actually acknowledging that, she's just like, okay, let me get that high. It's good. But now it's back to business again. And you know how Richard said, if it's not going to be publicized, he's not going to do the whole charity crap thing. Okay. So Samantha makes sure that they organize a big fundraiser party, like charity fundraiser, to get Richard impressed how good of donator he is or something, right? You know, business people talk, I guess. But as much as this is for Richard, there is a hidden agenda. I mean, who says that Samantha is not doing this to make sure the press is talking about Richard in other ways, not just about how he is hooking up with other people?
I trust you're finding something noteworthy to put on your column, JJ.
Oh, look at you.
And the reporter is at the party, as planned. Now, when Samantha goes to check up on him and make sure he knows what to write about this time, well, the reporter has news for her. There is something to write about. Hasn't she heard? There's a rumor he is cozy with another powerful woman in New York.
Oh, I guess the cat's out of the bag.
Oh, it's out of the bag. Look at them together.
No. It's not Samantha Jones. It's the woman he's talking to right there at the party. Now, Samantha, it boils in her, blah, 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 blah. But she also knows that she cannot lose her cool like that there, right? In front at this, or make a scene. At least not yet. So she goes to her girls and she's like, you bitches did it.
Fucking Richard is fucking the entire style section, and for the first time in my life, I actually give a shit. I think I have monogamy. I must have caught it from you people.
There are so many hot guys in this place, and she is not interested, not even in one. She caught on the monogamy disease. And it is not okay. It's not okay because Richard is effing every other woman he comes across. Now, Carrie encourages Samantha to talk to Richard, to just tell him how she feels. But Samantha knows that it's not going to work because the whole point of him liking her is because she's not the monogamous type. So if she tells him this now, he's just going to leave. Though I guess when Samantha reaches her boiling point, she reaches her boiling point. She spots the woman Richard is rumored to be canoodling with, and she makes her way towards Richard, passing the woman and, bumping at her.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes, Samantha is petty, period. That's that powerful vibe, Yay. She walks up to Richard and she tells him that this is purely professional, as she grasps him by the balls and asks, how many women are you actually effing? Richard is suffering, so he takes her hand off his balls. And Samantha corrects herself, right? As his PR, she needs to tell him that effing around like this, it's not good for image.
It makes investors nervous, and frankly,
It makes you nervous too.
as your publicist, yes, it does.
He should grow up, stop effing other women, and focus on her.
Come on. We're not the monogamous type.
Well, maybe I am.
Gorgeous. I'm not.
Fine.
Samantha is clearly mad and she walks away. Now she walks straight to the reporter and she's gonna get that high again. The thing that always helps her escape from the reality. The reality of sometimes being vulnerable and not working out. She takes him to the bathroom and they do it. Kind of. Because, he can't really do it.
Shit. Wait, just a minute.
We see Samantha that she is just left in the misery she is actually feeling. She couldn't even escape it this time. And the worst part of it all, she doesn't even care anymore. She steps out of the bathroom, but as she is walking into the main room, there is Richard.
There you are. Listen, maybe I was too quick back there. If there's anyone who could keep monotony interesting.
Hey, man of the hour.
But right in that moment, the reporter comes out and zip his plans. Now, Richard looks at the reporter, looks at Samantha, he chuckles and he's like, Sammy, you'll never change.
Samantha. You'll never change. And I wouldn't want you to. Let's just keep things as they were.
Well, this doesn't count. He couldn't even stay hard.
Hey,
Good seeing you, JJ.
Now, when it comes to the whole thing of Samantha using it as a high and escape, to me, it also confirms the way she reacting when she saw Richard coming. Because she didn't do it as a revenge against Richard, right? She didn't want to make him jealous or anything. It was purely for her. Thus, it is something that she wants and she needs, and she uses it also as a way of escaping the emotions she is feeling. Because when she sees him, she's almost like embarrassed that he saw that she hooked up with someone else, rather than being jealous much, what you might have expected from Samantha. Now, when it comes to Richard and actually coming to her, this is again tricky, because on one hand, we could say that maybe Richard also wants to explore something new. Now, the fact that he keeps saying monotony instead of monogamy, it is an indicator that he never really thought about even learning the word, I guess, correctly, because he really is not interested in it. But maybe Samantha is in some way different and she would actually make it more fun. But then when he sees that she's not into it, perfect also for him, because he actually doesn't want it. So this is a perfect arrangement, right? Now, there is also an element, if this wasn't a show, right? If this were real people, there could be an element of business. I mean, Samantha did tell him that it is not good for publicity. So what about if Richard is thinking, you know what, maybe it wouldn't be that bad if I would be with one person, And Samantha is very fun and very adventurous and very open to different things. So why not? We don't really know that, right? But we can say that as much as there was this moment of Richard being maybe, right, this could work, it wasn't really real. Because the second he got a chance or saw that she's not really into it, it was almost like a relief for him. It wasn't something that, despite everything, I still want to talk about this because I really like you. No, it was almost like, okay, good, we don't have to do it. And he walks away. Now, the problem here becomes if Samantha now internalizes blame for this, because she hooked up with another reporter and then Richard was ready to do it, but he didn't do it. She can now totally fall into, it's my fault. If I wouldn't do this, then maybe we could be monogamous, right? But how it all plays out, do they continue? Don't they continue? Well, we'll see about that. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about recapping Samantha. Did you remember some things that you kind of forgot about her story and made you think a little bit about, was she really that unbothered? Or are you like, Abyss, V, you are so late to the game. This was clear from the get-go. And to that, well, you know what? Congrats. You're better than me. Now, if you would like to make me feel good, a little caffeinated, I actually put a new link in my description, which is like buy me a coffee. I know this is the thing that people do. And I had a comment once of that they want to support me or support my channel. So I think that's a good way, because a lot of this scripting and analysis and watching and trying to figure shit out is done at a cafe. And let me tell you, Stockholm is not cheap. Don't worry, when I become a millionaire, I'll remove the link. If you truly want to have power in life, then all you have to do is trust your individuality. DDD. Good, this was a fun video to do.